All right. Hello. Hello. We should be live now, I think. Give YouTube a chance to catch up. Hey, there it is. What's going on, guys? How's it going? Hope you're enjoying your evening or afternoon, morning, wherever the hell you are. I hope you're having a good day. This is just a super casual, quick live stream. And also, by the way, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. I know I ate way too much. That's usually the MO for these kinds of things. Yo. Yeah, Lyle's passed out. He's in a food coma. We had a good, oh, the powwow we had last night. You guys should have been there. It was great. Only had to call the cops twice. But hey, is everything coming in loud and clear? No audio. You are full of it because this says I have tons of audio right here on the monitor. Check a 1, 2. Yeah. Okay, cool.
One side audio?
There's probably trolls as well in chat saying that everything's terrible. But most people say it's fine. So yeah, they're good. Damn, you guys are insane. Let's see. I'm gonna give a couple more seconds, maybe just like a minute or so for people to start rolling in. We've got about 1,200 people in right now. Yeah, so let me just explain what the stream's gonna be. I kind of thought it would be fun to just do a casual PC part picking stream today. So basically, I'm going to target like $800. I want to go for $800. It's not that much more than a console, considering like an Xbox One X is about $500 without any deals. So $300 more. Yeah, I mean that's like 3 games right now. No, I'm sorry, I can't do math right now. But anyway, $800 seems like a pretty good price point for a lot of builders who are just getting into PCs or don't want to spend $1,000 plus. But I'm actually gonna do one solid. I'm gonna do it one more solid, and I'm actually gonna try to do a build that can handle 1440p gaming. So the other day I did a build with the RX 590, the new card from AMD, new card, and that was I think that was close to $1,000 build. And that was mainly a 1080p gaming system. But I think we can go even cheaper because it is Black Friday and still get away with being able to drive more pixels for the gamers. So it should be cool. Now that's weird that you're only having, oh, you know what? Only left audio. Okay, so sorry headphone users. I think I know why. I think it's because... Give me 1 sec. My audio might cut out for a second, but that's because I'm going to try to fix the settings here. Give me 1 moment. Check. Check a 1, 2. All right, so it was, you guys are right, it was in stereo, so I just switched it to mono, so now it should be coming in through both ears. I apologize to all the right ears out there. I am not a racist. And I treat all ears equally. So you'll find it in your hearts to forgive me. That would be great. All right, so looks like we've got a good amount of people in here. And no, I'm not too quiet. You're too quiet. I can't even hear you because you're in a chat room. You shush. Audio's really low now. Okay. That is actually fine because I can do this. And I can do this. Check. I'm trying also not to blow your guys' ears out, so... Let's see. Check 1, 2. Testing. You gotta love live streaming. Doing all your troubleshooting while you're already live in front of an audience. All right. So. All right. I hear you guys. I hear you loud and clear, and I understand that you cannot do the same to me right now. So give me a second. Yep. Device properties. Ooh. Now, here's the tricky part. I'm going to do some microphone boosties. Oh, let's go to 100. Boom. Are you all deaf now? Can you hear me? Is that better? How's that sound? Check 1, 2. Can you hear my singing voice loud and clear? Yep. That's a bit better, but still a tad quiet. Okay, now is where I kick it into overdrive and enable mic boost, and you all go deaf. But you asked for it. You totally asked for it. So, headphone users beware. I'm going to turn the microphone boost up just a smidge. Right there. Okay. Check 1, 2. Ooh, that looks like peaking. Am I peaking like crazy? More, that's a little better. A little better. Mic sounds good. Check 1, 2. Hey. Alright, perfect. Awesome. That's crazy because in OBS it says that I am clipping like a mofo. So it just, I care about your ears. I really do. Ear care is the most important care. But yeah, it's the first time that I'm streaming on my own with this lavalier microphone. You guys also might not recognize the background of this video. It's because I'm actually at a family member's house. My mother-in-law was so gracious enough to let me stream from her own house on Thanksgiving week. So round of applause to her. And I'm going to try to get through this stream without stepping on too many toes here so that the rest of the family can continue their relaxation time. But let's get started, shall we? Like I said, for those of you who just are just joining, we're going to do sort of an $800 1440p gaming PC, which would be, you'd be hard-pressed to get away with that on any other day but Black Friday. But I think we can do it a little bit easier now. So I'm actually going to switch it over to NewEgg. So we're actually going to be working only with NewEgg today. I have a good idea of the parts I want to pick, just sort of a general foundation. And, wait, change mic. Using the wrong mic? Wait, wrong mic. You're using the wrong mic. How am I using the wrong mic? There's only one microphone, guys. No, there's no microphone built in there. Alright, hold on. Give me a sec. Let's switch back to full frame. Audio. Let's see. Default device. Check. Check 1, 2. How does that sound? Oh, is it the cam mic? Let's see. No, it says mic plus phantom. That all looks good. Check. I sound like I'm far away. It shouldn't be. I mean, it's definitely not selecting the internal mic here. Hold on, give me 1 sec, guys. Buy microphone easy. Nope. Check. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me now? Anybody? Check 1, 2. Check. Testing 1, 2, 3. How's that sound? Hello. No audio. Settings. Let me double check audio settings in OBS. Still no audio, huh? Advanced audio properties. Settings. Yeah, we just tested the stream before going actually live and it was fine, so something must have gotten switched over. Desktop audio. Default. Check 1, 2. Check.
Can hear you.
Loud now, good now.
Turn it down. Take mic boost off.
Check 1, 2. How's that sound? Check 1, 2. Good now. Now you're
Loud
rocking.
and
I can hear
clear.
you loud and clear. Stop.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Excellent. Yeah, there's always a bit of an adjustment period when streaming from a new place. I'm no streaming guru, as you guys are very well aware. But fortunately, I have a very attentive chat who always lets me know when I'm screwing up. So thank you guys. It sounds like everything's okay now. I trust you guys, and we can move forward. Let's kick this thing in the balls, shall we? So back to our MO for today. We're trying to build an $800 gaming rig for 1440p gaming. I say we could even get some ultra wide, like 3440 by 1440, in here with the amount of deals that are just oozing out of websites like Amazon and NewEgg this morning. So, and as we all know, like Black Friday deals just tend to start earlier and earlier in the month. But I think most of the best deals are reserved for actually Black Friday. So I think it's still somewhat relevant to be streaming today. So let's just dive right in, shall we? So they've got a huge, Newegg's got this huge Black Friday spread. And really the only thing we're interested in here today, anyway, is components. So looking at the components here, let's see. I always like to start off with CPU. That's usually the first part that I pick out because that sort of dictates a lot of the other parts that you're going to be using in the build. So we've got, thankfully Newegg's pretty well organized, it seems, this year for sorting out all their components. And honestly, if we're going to go $800 or less, or even $1,000 or less really, and we're really trying to squeeze every ounce of performance for our dollar, I'm going to go Ryzen. I feel like Ryzen is just the best way to do it. So, someone's saying mic boost. There's too much mic boost. All right. So what I'm going to try to do is really quick. I'm going to lower mic boost and then up the gain within OBS. Bloop. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. How's that sound? Maybe there should be a little bit less noise now that I kind of recalibrated. I like how you guys can see exactly what I'm doing on screen too. Yes. All right. So anyway, let's go Ryzen. Yeah. So those Ryzen 2700 for $249, which is a damn good deal for sure. But I really want to. When you only have a limited budget of $800, I really want to invest more into the graphics card than the CPU, especially for gaming, since most games still are very much GPU dependent. So I think we can get away with like a Ryzen 5, honestly. And this is a pretty damn compelling offer from AMD here. It's a Ryzen 5 1600, 6-core for $129. But it also makes me wonder what a Ryzen 5 2600 goes for, because if we can get the second gen option, you get higher clock speeds out of the box, better overclocking abilities, and it looks like we have a 2600 for only $20 more. I think that's worth it. I think we're going to go with the 2600, guys. This seems to be one of the more bang for the buck options at the moment. So let's add this. No, I don't want a 3-year protection plan. Go to hell. And we are moving on to the motherboard. The motherboard's also one of the first things, because once you know your CPU, you know what socket you want. And also, if you have an overclocking chip, how beefy you want your VRM to be. If you want, if you're going to need an overclocking chipset in the first place. So let's go back to the Black Friday deals here, or actually I was right here, and lock down a motherboard. AM4. AM4. Wait, hold on here. Huh. So if you go to the Black Friday deals, just broadly, and you choose motherboard. Oh, okay, it's because I selected AMD motherboards. I was thinking that they didn't have any deals on any Intel boards, but that's clearly not the case. All right, so AM4, here we go. I don't want to spend more than $70 on a board. All right, and we're not trying to break any world records here, overclocking, so we don't need anything super crazy. But I also like sorting by lowest price because I'm a cheap bastard. And look at this, Gigabyte. A $49 board, down from $65. It's got USB 3.1, 2x16 slots. That's kind of cool, even though I probably would never use those. The only thing that concerns me here is that this is probably not a great overclocker, because if you just look at the VRM setup, I mean, there's like virtually zero heatsink treatment there. So maybe I'll back out of that. This would be good if it was like a budget board, if you were going with like Ryzen 3 or something like that. But I think we can get away with a little bit more. Now, ASRock, I've had ASRock UEFIs have been hit or miss for me, so I try to avoid those when I can. It's not to say that they haven't been perfectly fine. I mean, my daily is an X399 Tai Chi. Nothing kicks ass, but all right, B350 Gaming Pro. Also a little bit light with the VRM setup here. I don't see any Asus boards for relatively little. Now this is a little bit more than I'd like to spend. This is probably a much better overclocking board than the other ones we've taken a look at. But again, we're really trying to grind here for getting under $800. This one's okay. 74. You know what? This one doesn't look too bad actually. This MSI B350 PC Mate. Then again, you kind of want, if you have the option to, you'd want a B450 motherboard. You want that chipset to go along with the Ryzen 2 or second gen Ryzen. Did I see any B450 boards? This is actually pretty solid. I like this board because, well, first it's all black. It's going to match with everything. That's kind of a side bonus. The power delivery looks pretty robust compared to the other options, and it's got 4 DIMM slots. What is this? Full ATX board. Oh, look at all the features. Look at all the features. Of course, we've got M.2 on here. I don't think we're going to be populating this system with an M.2 drive just because you can save money with 2.5-inch still. But this looks like a relatively good option for $75. I like the fact that it still has M.2 just for expandability in the future, upgradability. So we're going to add this to cart, and we can always rework this, guys. We don't have to, like, none of these parts are set in stone. If, like, we're way over budget or something like that, we can always go back to the drawing board. No, stop giving me 3-year protection plans on every single part, NewEgg. I don't appreciate it. All right, next up, what can we do next? Next, we'll probably do memory. I think memory is the next logical step here. Now, Ryzen very much favors fast memory frequency, mainly because of the Infinity Fabric and how that interconnects a lot of the elements together on the architecture, memory controller, and so forth. So, if you increase the RAM frequency, a lot of other elements get sped up in the process. So, we're going to see what kind of deals we can find on DDR4. DDR4 is going to be one of the hottest sellers, I think, in the PC space this Black Friday because memory's just been so expensive lately. It has gone down quite a bit, a month or two before Black Friday even, but now's the time. Strike when the iron's hot, guys. You can find some really good deals on 16 gig kits relatively easily, especially today. So I'm going to go, okay, let's again sort by lowest price, and this is all either DDR3 or no. Okay, so there's a 16 gigabyte kit. Now again, I wanted fast memory, which for me, for Ryzen, I usually recommend 3000 megahertz or 3000 mega transfers and up. Of course, you could get away with like a slightly slower kit and then overclock your memory, but just to ensure full compatibility and that it's going to run at that operated speed that's listed on the box, I tend to go with 3000 or higher. So these are all cheaper kits at around 2133, 2400 speed. You can see all the speeds here. There's a 3000 kit right here, 2x8 gigs. That's actually not bad. Gale, I will forever not know how to pronounce this. Gale, I'm just going to stop trying. But I don't know. Let's see what else we have here. G-Skill Ripjaws 5, that's 2400. 3000 right here as well for the T-Force. That's actually not bad. I could dig it. We've also got, no, that's 2666. Let's check out this T-Force brand. I've been pretty happy with the T-Force memory lately. I've been using it more and more. Some other Nighthawk RGB modules actually were responding really well on Ryzen, last I checked, and this sale ends in 12 hours, so I feel like I'm feeling the pressure. I feel peer pressured into getting this. This is the cheapest, probably most reliable kit that we can find on NewEgg right now at 3000 speed. So I'm adding it. Again, don't freak out, guys. We can always go back. And Kyle. Oh, Guile. Okay, pronounced like Kyle. Oh, then I should immediately know how that's pronounced. That's the easiest. Wow, it's personal now. I'll never forget how to pronounce Guile ever again. Watch, I will. All right, so we've got the big three down. I would say the big 3 out of 4. We could go for a graphics card next because that's going to be the we're going to allocate the most of our budget to the GPU for sure. As well you should if you're building a gaming PC. If you're building a rendering system, then allocate more towards the CPU and memory. But let's see what kind of video card deals we've got today. 86 options to choose from. Now then, I want to also sort by lowest price, once again. And let's see. Obviously, you can get some pretty smoking deals on RX 570s for $139. Holy moly, it's not terrible. I want something more substantial, though, because like I mentioned, we're trying to go 1440p this time around. And any of the RX cards, unless you're talking about RX Vega 56 and higher, are really just not going to cut it. They're not going to give you the richest experience at that resolution. So I want to go with either Vega 56, RX Vega 56 would be pretty sweet if we could find a good deal on that, or a GTX 1070 from NVIDIA. And so far, I think we need to scroll up. We're not going to get something for less than 300 here. So okay, so what is this? This is GTX 1060s, and then once we break the 300, wow, $325 for this mini GTX 1060. Down from, oh, but it's down from $700, so it's a smoking deal. I don't know what the hell's going on there, NewEgg. But, okay, we've got a GeForce GTX 1070 Dual from Asus. Asus is a reputable add-in board partner, as y'all know. And you get Monster Hunter for free. Hey, bonus value add there. There's also an RX Vega 56 for the same price, but it's a blower style. It's reference card design, and I think that's poop. It's pure poop. Ooh, look at this, 1070 Ti for $349. But honestly, you could just buy a 1070 and overclock it in most cases and get pretty close to a 1070 Ti anyway. And plus, it would save us $10. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's kind of tempting. It's only $10 more for a 1070 Ti. All right, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do some chat interaction here. All right. Which one do I go for? Do I go for GTX 1070 or GTX 1070 Ti for $10 more? All right. Create poll, and I'm gonna put the poll in chat. You guys answer. We'll come back to that in just a bit. All right. Let's move on though. I'm going to open up a new tab here so we don't lose our space, lose our place. And we can move on to, ooh, what's next? Let's do case. Case sounds exciting. Cases are always fun to shop for. And it looks like we have a lot of options here. Ooh. What are the odds that the very first case here that they've listed is the one that I'm most attracted to? The Eclipse P300 from Fantex is such a steal. It's such a steal at its base MSRP of $60, and now they're selling it for $10 less. I mean, it's really the full package for an entry-level case. Entry-level cases, the entry-level case market's become so competitive, and Fantex really stepped up their game in this space. You've got tempered glass. There's some RGB element if you're into that. The front panel looks fairly closed off, but when you take a look at this case in person, you realize how far away the edge of that front panel is from the actual fans inside that rest behind the frame. And there's some ample ventilation openings on the top and bottom. You got a power supply shroud. I mean, this is one of the best entry-level cases for 2018, even though I think it released last year. I don't remember. Yeah, and you got dust filtration at the front as well. Oh, it's tempting. It's so tempting. I like this case a lot. And if you look at the other options, now granted these two right here are $10 cheaper, but I mean, look at, there's no power supply shroud. I believe this is, yeah, it's an acrylic side panel, this master box, and I don't know, this Carbide series just looks super choked for airflow. And then it goes up immediately. You've got a Meshify C, which is totally different category. Meshify C is great too, but twice as expensive as those other cases. So you know what? I'm gonna trust my gut and go with P300, yo. That's what I'm doing. All right, let's see what you guys voted on. Right here. I'm gonna bring this up into the screen so you can see. Look at the results. 1070 Ti for $10 more. 93% of you, as I suspected, are imploring me to go with that option. And I think you guys have chosen correctly. That's what I'm going to do. So let's go down to that. From Zotac. Zotac's also a very good add-in board partner that I use a lot. So there it is. We are now at we are dangerously close to $800 already, guys. We need to curb our spending a little bit. At 744, this is getting tight. But again, if we go a little over budget, I'm not going to freak out. And again, we can always rework the parts if we want to. So let's go to our next item, which I will say storage. Let's get nil storage out of the way. For this, I'm just going to type in 256 gig SSD. Sort by lowest price. And you could, if you wanted to, you could spend pennies on like a no-name brand, like whatever this is. What is this? Dogfish. Don't they make beer? It even has a similar logo. I mean, it's definitely not the same brand, but it's some Chinese brand, but what? I'm a little skeptical. This is where I draw the line on SSDs. Like, if it's a brand I've just never heard of and it's way too cheap to be it's way too good to be true type of thing. I mean, $26, and this is only 128 gigs, so that's not even a crazy deal. Now, something like this, Silicon Power, I've used their products extensively in the past. They've never let me down, and you get 256 gigs here for $35. It's only $10 more than the Dogfish option. So let's see what else is here. It might not get much better than that, guys. It may not get much better than that. So ADID has got one, but it's $5 more. ADID is also a great brand for cheaper SSDs. And then, they just get more expensive from there. I'm going Silicon Power. I've used this exact SSD in a build in the past, so happy to bring it back here. Oh, Paul's now streaming? Cool. You guys should all go show Paul some love too. Maybe, I don't know if you could dual stream. If your ears can be listening independent of each other, then I suggest you watch both of our streams simultaneously. But at any rate, tell him I say hi. Everyone go crash the stream and tell him I said what up. Tell him to buy all the things and to if he wants to buy me something, that'd be nice. I'm not gonna complain. All right, so SSD in the bag for $35. Feeling strong about that. Does Paul not have? I'm gonna text Paul really quick. He doesn't have sound. Paul, you have no sound. You have no sound. And then I'm gonna say that'll be the quote. I said you have no sound in quotes, and then your chat 2018. You have no sound. Your chat 2018. All right. I'm sure he'll get it together eventually. I mean, I did. I mean, I probably had way bigger tech issues than he is right now at the beginning of this stream. So let's move on, though, to storage. I like 2 terabytes. I think that's a happy medium. It gives you enough for all your games, most of your games, depending on how extensive of a library you have. And with just games just getting larger and larger by the day, it is... you can't get away with a 1 terabyte drive anymore, even if you're a casual gamer. I mean... These games are like 100 gigs plus now. It's ridiculous. So let's do 2 terabyte and see what comes up. Again, NewEgg seems to know what I'm after right now because we have a $60 Seagate Barracuda 2 terabyte, 7200 RPM. Now I understand that a lot of people do not like Seagate and they've had really bad experiences with them. I have honestly had nothing but great experiences. A 2 terabyte Barracuda was my first hard drive ever that I bought back in 2012, and it's still going strong. Granted, I'm not using it daily, but it's good. It's just as reliable as any of the other drives that I've owned. So I can't not recommend it to people when I've had personally a great experience with them. And for $60, I mean, it's definitely a lot cheaper than the WD options. WD Black is a little, that's when you're doing you've got the dough, you've got the extra cash flow for a black, then you go black. And once you go black, you never go back, as they say. It applies to hard drives too, Speaking from personal experience, there is a WD Blue somewhere. Okay, WD Blue isn't even popping up. Interesting. Okay, so oh, here it is. So there is a WD Blue option for the same price as that Barracuda, but it's 5,400 RPM, which no, not gonna happen. Hard drives are slow enough after using SSDs for so long. I'm not gonna deal with a 5,400 RPM drive, and then that means the 7,200 RPM drive from the WD Blue is probably gonna be quite a bit more, maybe 10, 20 bucks more. I'm fine with the Barracuda though, so let's do that. Why can't I add it? Why can't I add it to cart straight from here? I don't understand. Why do I have to click on the product page? That's stupid. And it's got fairly good reviews too. 4 out of 5 eggs. I'll take 4 eggs. We're adding that. No thanks. Don't need a protection plan. And let's see. The last thing we have here is a power supply. Let's do power supply here, and we are over budget at this point. $840. Let's see what the power supply gods have in store for us. Let's take one gander here. I'll try to rework some of this stuff for you guys. And oh yeah, right over here. Yoink. 80 plus bronze. Partially modular, and 500 to 550 watts. Those are the bare minimum features that I'm looking for right now. And if we sort by lowest price, okay, this scares me. A $20 power supply, EVGA BR. It doesn't have many reviews, but all the reviews have been positive. BR. Does that stand for brick? The 500 BR. Guaranteed to brick your computer in the first 6 months. I don't know, man. What does a 600 watt go for? $50. Okay, that's quite a bit more. I mean, this is if it's a budget PC, it doesn't get much better than this, man. Granted, it's not modular, but the cables are black. That's the great thing that EVGA does is pretty much all their power supplies now, even the budget ones, are all black. No ketchup and mustard. So praise whoever at EVGA came up with that. 80 plus bronze is also not much to scoff at. And we're already over budget, guys. So I feel like the only reservation I have is that I always have this policy of never skimping on your power supply. Even on a day like Black Friday when you're trying to get the most bang for your buck. So let's see what else we have here. Be Quiet Pure Power 10, 500 watts. That's actually not terrible either. Not modular though, whatsoever. And then we have Supernova 550. So you get an additional 50 watts. That can come in handy, especially if you're planning to overclock the system. And it's fully modular with 80 plus gold. 80 plus gold. Hey yo. And the G3 series is something I tend to stand by. Use these units so much in the past. Dang, dude. What does this originally go for? $99, down from $100. Now, granted, even without Black Friday, you could probably find it for $50, $60, but this is actually a really good deal. And I'm probably gonna have to add it. No thanks, no protection plan. So we are now $80 over budget. We're $80 over budget, which is actually not terrible when you think about the kind of performance you'll be getting out of a Ryzen 5 2600 6-core CPU and a GTX 1070 aftermarket card, non-reference. You're going to be able to overclock. You're going to be able to do streaming and stream while gaming, video editing. Pretty much the world is at your fingertips with this parts list, and I'm fairly happy with what we've managed to scrounge together in just half an hour or so. Now, if you wanted to cut this down, I'm not going to go hunting too deep for alternate parts, but if you wanted to cut this down, there are some ways that you could shave down the corners here. The case is always, it can be flexible. You can find cases for 25, 35 bucks. So if you want to save $15 there, you could go with something that doesn't have all the bells and whistles that the P300 does. Again, I love this case and I stand by my decision here, but again, if you're trying to hit that price point of 800 flat, then you could shave down your case a little bit. Additionally, you could probably get a cheaper motherboard if you weren't so hot on overclocking. Let's say you only wanted to overclock 200-300 megahertz at most, or even like 100 or 200, or you weren't overclocking at all. You're just happy with out of the box. You don't want to risk anything, even though the risk of overclocking is very low these days. You could get a motherboard, as we saw, for $49, and that would save you an additional $20. So if you're saving $15 on the case, $20 on the motherboard, that's $35. Yes, I went to math school, so that's already nailed down 35 bucks from our 80, and so we've only got 45 left to shave off here. You could have saved an additional $10 on that GTX 1070 Ti by going with the 1070. Still an amazing card for 1440p gaming. That brings us down to $35 over budget. If you wanted to risk getting that $20 PSU, which was also from EVGA, the 500 watt BR, you could shave that down too. You could probably save $5 on memory going with a slightly slower kit, and that's pretty much all I would skimp on, and that would bring you down to 800. So you would be cutting some corners. You wouldn't have, some people would be okay, would be perfectly fine making those sacrifices, and others wouldn't. It really boils down to your needs, your budget. How tightly do you want to swing this? So that's pretty much it, guys. But I've had helpers along the way create links for all the parts that we use today, and I will put them in my video description. Right freaking meow. Well, we have 5,300 of you watching right now, so thank you everyone who's tuned in. I really do appreciate your guys' support on this holiday week, and the links are all in there, so feel free to use them. Just disclaimer, I do get a small kickback for anything that you purchase through those links, in case that doesn't stand morally right with you or something like that, but it does help support the channel and helps me continue doing what I'm doing. So thank you guys so much. That's going to conclude it for now. I've got family here and a bunch of other things going on today, so I'm going to get out of your hair. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Love y'all, and see you next time. Bye. Have a good weekend. Yeah, go to Paul's stream.